Alright guys, so we're just up at the workshop this morning, just gonna put on the new Pulsar GTX 3584 Turbo and also do the porting on the rear housing too. So that's what we're going to be doing this morning, so let's get into it. Alright, so we're just doing a bit of the flapper porting here a little bit on this Pulsar 3584. I'm just going to clean up that a little bit more, open it up just a little bit, and do the inside of the housing as well. So I'm just putting the rear housing back on. I've marked my marks so I know the rotation straight up goes like that. So they should sit in place. You can see the difference here. 82 rear, 84, big difference. This is the genuine Garrett turbo that came on the 3582 GT. That comes on the stock standard XR6 turbo. And this is the Pulsar. So we've just had to clock the core a little bit to get it to be exactly the same, so it all bolts up just slightly anyway. They weren't too far off. So what I'm going to do here is just add a little bit more preload into this actuator. I would have liked to have used a Garrett actuator, but I just don't have time to get a rod end that fits this. So I'm going to chuck this on and see how it goes. I'm just going to add a little bit more preload to it before we put it back on the flapper. So you adjust preload by winding this rod end in, and then you'll see here you'll have to pull it back to get it onto the little onto that little tab there, and then you put your circlip on it to hold it in place. So when you're setting preload on a actuator, you want, if it'll focus, you want what they call half hole preload. So it means that this here is half a hole difference to what the actuator hole is. The actuator rod end is. But with this, I'm going to just set a little bit more preload to it because I want to make a little bit more boost, and I think that will probably help. Because they were saying, the rep was saying, sometimes these turbos struggle to get over 22 PSI, and I want to run like 26. So if I add a bit more preload, it should be all good. So once you've got it set, you just tighten this up again. Doesn't take much. And that should give us our preload. So if that goes on there, I'll have to use a pair of multi-grips or something just to pull that back to get it situated onto the actual rod end. Alright, so now that's on, just going to mark the preload, a little bit of that, so I know where I'm at. If I want to set back to this preload or need to change it, because the other side does have a yellow mark, I can set it back to the original factory preload that these came with. Alright, so we're just test fitting the new 3584, make sure everything's sort of clocked right. All feeds should reach, it's just slightly off. Oil return should be fine. So I'm going to pull this back out and tighten up all the fittings and go from there. Alright, so we just had to re-clock the turbo a little bit while it was on the car. It's a bit of a pain in the ass, but had to be done because the oil return line wasn't matching up exactly right. So we just did that. And I'm just putting it all back together now and I should have it running this morning. Alright, so we're just putting the new dump pipe bolts on. We just clocked it again a little bit, the cord, just to get the oil and water to line up a bit better. Everything else seems to line up, like that pipe lines up right there. The turbo lines up with the inner core piping. So it's been pretty simple. Definitely an easy install, I would say. Alright guys, so we're just taking the Falcon for a test drive with the new Pulsar turbo on it. The first thing I noticed straight away is, I would say, the spool of this turbo is a bit quieter than the old Aeroflow. Obviously I can't really give it anything because it's not tuned at the moment, but the last actuator I had on the car was actually a 19 PSI actuator, so this one should run fine with the hose connected up to the actuator, so we'll just leave it like that for now. It's also a little bit wet, so I can't really, get it up on boost at all. So yeah, but it's easy running right now. I've just got to go get some E85 and then hopefully the roads will be a little bit drier and I can just get it up on boost a little bit for everyone and see how we go. Alright, here we are, the holy grail of petrol stations. And of course someone is at the E85 pump. To get to that one right there where the silver car is. So I'm gonna have to wait for them to move. So just finished up here at the Karcher car wash. Did a bit of a clean on the car, just a bit of a quick clean. It's covered in dust and looked gross, so did that. As you can see, it's pretty cool car wash. So it has like that air dryer thing which takes forever, but if you don't have a chamois it works really well. So what I'm going to do now is go back to the workshop quickly because I think I've left my earpods there, which I really... Oh no, wait, I just found them. How's that? Do not have to go back to the workshop, which is fantastic because it's out of my way. I'm going to go home, or actually go to the gym, and spend the rest of the day making some content on this. I need to get some more pictures of the dash. And then yeah, just let the car sit for the next week. I think I'm not really going to drive it too much, just to save the E85 for the tune next week. But I'll see if I can get a few little boost clips on the way home. Alright guys, I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.